What's the greatest scoring season in NBA history? Was it when Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 points per game in 1962, dropping numbers that looked like they came straight out of a video game? Was it Michael Jordan's 37 a night in 1987, where he shredded defenses before the three-point line even mattered? Or maybe it was something more modern, James Harden's so-called Unguardable Tour in 2019, where he scored from everywhere. Or Luka Dončić's 2024 masterclass, where he made scoring look effortless. All of those seasons were legendary, but if you ask me, the single greatest scoring season we've ever seen belongs to one man, Kobe Bean Bryant in 2006. 35 points per game, 27 games with at least 40, a historic 81-point explosion, outscoring an entire team with 62 in just 3 quarters. And doing it all while dragging one of the weakest supporting casts ever to the playoffs. This wasn't just scoring. It was survival. It was vengeance. It was the definition of the Mamba mentality. And yet, somehow, Kobe didn't even crack the top 3 in MVP voting that year. Just a few years earlier, he was on top of the basketball world. At 23 years old, Kobe already had 3 championships next to Shaquille O'Neal. The Lakers were a dynasty. It felt like nothing could stop them. But then came the collapse. In 2003, the San Antonio Spurs knocked the Lakers out of the playoffs, ending their shot at a 4-peat. The following year, Kobe's personal life was consumed by serious allegations that destroyed his public image. At the same time, the feud with Shaq boiled over. Shaq was traded to Miami. Phil Jackson walked away. The Lakers were gutted. For the first time in his career, Kobe missed the playoffs in 2005. Critics said he was selfish, uncoachable, and finished as a contender. Many believed he'd never win again. The media had turned on him, fans booed him in arenas around the league, and he was suddenly alone with a roster that didn't even belong in the same conversation as the early 2000s juggernaut Lakers. So when the 2006 season rolled around, Kobe had only one option: silence the world by force. The season started with a bang. Opening night against Denver, Kobe drilled a cold-blooded mid-range jumper to win the game, finishing with 33 points. The next few nights, he was on fire. 39 against Phoenix, 37 more against Denver, and another 37 versus Atlanta. 4 straight 30-point games to start the season. The message was clear: the Mamba was back. But his Lakers weren't. With Lamar Odom as the second option, Kwame Brown in the paint, and Smush Parker at point guard, the roster looked more like a rebuilding project than a playoff team. Losses piled up, the frustration grew, and then the New York Knicks came to town. That night, Kobe unleashed his first true avalanche of the season, a 42-point demolition. That game flipped a switch inside of him. Kobe realized that if he wanted to win, he had to treat every night like it was a Game 7. And once he made that decision, the rest of the league was doomed. Mid-December was when Kobe really started to separate himself from anyone else in basketball. On December 12th, he torched the Dallas Mavericks for 43 points, including a fading, deep 3 that sealed the win in the final seconds. It was one of those shots that felt like pure basketball poetry, falling away, body twisted, ball still perfect. But that wasn't even the appetizer. 8 days later, on December 20th, he delivered one of the most mind-bending performances in NBA history: 62 points in 3 quarters against Dallas. And here's the kicker: he outscored the entire Mavericks team by himself, 62-61 through 3 quarters. Fans were begging Phil Jackson to leave him in for the 4th to see if he could reach 70 or even 80. But Kobe waved it off. He said, "I'll do it when we really need it." That single sentence told you everything about his mindset. It wasn't about chasing stats, it was about winning. And when the time came, he'd make good on that promise. If December was the storm, January was the hurricane. Fresh off a suspension for an elbow on Mike Miller, Kobe returned with a vengeance. 48 points in his first game back, then 50 the very next night against the Clippers. Against LeBron's Cavaliers, he poured in 27 and hit the game winner right over the king himself. He rattled off 40s and 50s like it was routine. And then came January 22nd, 2006, the night Kobe Bryant etched his name into history. The Lakers were trailing the Toronto Raptors by 14 at halftime. Kobe had a solid 26 points, but then he detonated. 55 in the second half alone. Shot after shot, drive after drive, Free throws, threes, mid-range pull-ups, everything went in. By the time the buzzer sounded, he had dropped 81 points. 81, the second highest scoring game in NBA history. And unlike Wilt's 100, which came in a different era against defenses that barely resemble today's game, Kobe's came with hand-checking, double teams, and defensive schemes designed specifically to stop him. The Raptors tried everything. Nothing worked. Kobe didn't just score that night, he carried the Lakers to victory. They needed every bit of those 81 to win. It wasn't a gimmick, it was survival. And January as a whole, he averaged 43 points per game, with 12 30-point games, 7 40s, 2 50s, and of course the 81. It was the single greatest scoring month of the modern NBA. When you look back at that Lakers roster, it's almost a miracle they made the playoffs at all. Smush Parker, Kwame Brown, Chris Meme, Luke Walton, none of those guys were real second options. Lamar Odom was solid, but nowhere near an all-star. Yet somehow, Kobe dragged them to 45 wins. He led the league in every scoring category you can imagine. Most 30-point games, most 40-point games, most 50-point games, the only 60-point game, and of course, the only 80-point game. He averaged 35 points per night, the highest since Jordan in 1987, and he scored over a third of all the Lakers' points that season by himself. In today's era of load management and super teams, numbers like that are unthinkable. But Kobe did it while playing 41 minutes a game, night after night, against defenses that had one mission: stop him. And the crazy part? They couldn't. With all of that, you'd think Kobe was a lock for MVP. But when the votes came in, he finished fourth. Not first, not second, not even third. The award went to Steve Nash. The argument was that his Suns won 54 games and played an unselfish, team-oriented style that captured voters' hearts. But Kobe's 35 points a night, his 81-point masterpiece, his one-man playoff push, ignored. To this day, fans call it one of the biggest MVP robberies in NBA history. And it wasn't just about the numbers, it was about the narrative. Voters punished Kobe for his past controversies, his reputation as selfish, and the Lakers' low seed. But if you switch him with any other superstar, that Lakers team doesn't win 20 games. The truth is simple: nobody in 2006 was more valuable to their team than Kobe Bryant. If the regular season was the argument, the playoffs were the proof. Round 1, Lakers versus Suns. Kobe against Nash, the very man who took his MVP. In Game 2, Kobe posterized Nash with one of the most disrespectful dunks of his career, hanging on the rim like a villain while the MVP lay on the floor. The Lakers stole that game. In Game 3, they took the lead. Then came Game 4, where Kobe delivered one of the most iconic moments in NBA history. Tie game. Lakers win the jump ball. Smush Parker dishes it out. Kobe races down the court, pulls up, and buries the game winner at the buzzer. The crowd exploded. The Lakers went up 3-1 on the second-seeded Suns. For a moment, it looked like Kobe was about to prove everyone wrong. But basketball can be cruel. The Lakers blew the series lead, forced into a Game 7 they couldn't handle. Kobe dropped 23 in the first half, but with the Lakers down big, he barely shot in the second, scoring just 1 point. To this day, people debate whether he quit to make a statement about needing more help. The series ended in heartbreak. And yet, the legend of 2006 Kobe only grew. No MVP, no championship, no fairy tale ending. But 2006 wasn't about trophies. It was about proving a point. Kobe Bryant, abandoned by teammates, hated by the media, written off as finished, showed the world what it looked like when one man refused to break. That season hardened him. It set the stage for the next chapter of his career. 3 years later, he was a champion again. 4 years later, he got his revenge title in 2010. But none of that happens without the fire forged in 2006. Because that year, Kobe Bryant didn't just score points. He redefined what it meant to carry a team. He showed that greatness doesn't always come with hardware. Sometimes it comes with moments burned into memory forever. Wilt scored more. Jordan was smoother. Harden had analytics on his side. Luka made it look easy. But nobody ever torched the league with pure, relentless fury like 2006 Kobe. And that's why, no matter how many points anyone averages in the future, 2006 Kobe Bryant will always be remembered as the most savage scoring machine the game has ever seen.